If you were a betting man, who would you pick to win over the hearts of Counter-Strike fans across the globe? Maybe Simple, returning to form to reinstate his GOAT status after a long hiatus. Nico and Monacy, reuniting under a banner everyone hates, but making up for it with their bromance and great Counter-Strike. Maybe even an underdog team like Furia, finally seeing a Yekindar that's returned to form with veteran players like Fallen in the Wings and unwavering Brazilian support. So many great choices. It's a shame none of them are the right one, as these two spelunky boys from China took the major by storm, putting Chinese Counter-Strike on the map and winning fans everywhere. Today we take a look at the story of Jee and EmiliaQAQ and how these young guns from China won the love and admiration from the CS community in just 2 short weeks. Talk about cultural impact. For the first time in history, the BLAST Austin Major expanded slots from 24 teams to 32. Among all the teams in this expanded format were 2 names that aren't exactly strangers to the Major. Linvision Gaming with players Zaforka, also known as Zaka, Westmelon, Starry, Kafolum 3 also known as Call Me Sue, and EmiliaQAQ. And Tyloo Esports, featuring Attacker, Jam Young, Mosier, Mercury, and Jee. These are 2 Chinese teams that have hovered near the top tiers of Pro CS, often qualifying for majors, but rarely at the same time. And let's be real, since CSGO has always been a game dominated by Western viewership, these teams never really got the fanfare when outside of China. And no one expected anything to change here, with the major being hosted in Austin, Texas, in the US of A. A country that, to put it kindly, hasn't always been best buds with China. But all of that was about to change.
Nice.
After spending over a year playing for our other protagonist team, Linvision Gaming, Jee made the decision to leave once his contract expired, choosing instead to join Tyloo. Unfortunately for Jee, this transition didn't go as smoothly as transfers usually do in the Western scene. Unbeknownst to much of the broader Counter-Strike community, Jee faced a surprising amount of backlash for the move. According to reports, a major Chinese streamer with over 2 million followers pushed the narrative that Jee had betrayed Linvision. Now, it's important to note that a lot of this is what you might call Chinese whispers. Get it? Because the Chinese scene is largely closed off from Western audiences due to the language barrier and the use of different social platforms, much of this story actually filtered out through the HLTV forums, which, let's be honest, aren't exactly the most reliable source on the internet. The hate and pressure Jee received were also reportedly amplified by his personality. As we'll come to see, he's got a bubbly, outgoing character. And while that's often celebrated by Western fans, it can be perceived differently in China, where humility is a more culturally valued trait. And the pressure on Jee didn't let up. During ESL Pro League Season 21, Tyloo started strong, going 2-0 in the group stage of Stage 1, their first big tournament with Jee. But then they lost their next 2 matches, putting their progress in doubt. Eventually though, they pulled through with a clutch win over FlyQuest to qualify for Stage 2. Jee's emotions came pouring out in a heartfelt post-match interview, teary-eyed, raw, and real. But at the end of that interview, we got our first glimpse of a now iconic side character, Bing Chilling, or as it's more commonly known, Ice Cream.
I'm sure that Tyloo and company take a couple days from here, or what? I gotta hold on to it, but yeah, I got you.
Eat ice cream.
Yeah, you know what? All of that, yeah, you're right. Eat some ice cream. You gonna go get some right now?
Yeah, of course.
You see, Jee loves ice cream. It became a bit of a running theme throughout ESL Pro League, and even after an emotional, tear-filled victory speech, there was still one thing on his mind: grabbing some Bing Chilling. But that's all in the past now. It's time for the Major. But before we get into how Jee was out here spoon-feeding Banks some delicious Bing Chilling, let me spoon-feed you today's sponsor, SkinVault.gg. SkinVault lets you buy, sell and trade skins instantly. With over 1 million available, you'll be sure to find something that makes you just as happy as Jee when he gets his Bing Chilling. Getting ready is simple, just log in through Steam, enter your trade link, and you're ready to upgrade your inventory. Pick the skins you want and what you want to offer, and in just a few clicks, your trade is complete. And if you're running low on ice cream money, you can even instantly cash out with the lowest fees on the market. The best way to support me while getting something for yourself is to head over to SkinVault and use code BONATHON for a $10 bonus on your first trade and a 35% deposit bonus. Tyloo had a rough start in their opening match at the Major, falling to NRG in what was a bit of a shocker. Sure, NRG was one of North America's few real hopes in this American-hosted Major, but they weren't favourites in this matchup. Not exactly the start Jee and Tyloo were hoping for. Next up, Metisport. Tyloo bounced back in style. Metisport may have been the lowest rated team in the tournament, but a 13-4 stomping was exactly what Tyloo needed to regain confidence. But unfortunately, the good vibes didn't last. Tyloo then got absolutely rolled by OG, losing 13-5 and dropping to a 1-2 record, meaning they now needed 2 straight best of 3 wins to stay in the tournament. No problem though, because next up was another North American team, Complexity, who not only had a stand-in, but had been massively underperforming. Tyloo breezed past them 2-0, with Jee putting on an absolute masterclass, finishing as the highest rated player in the series. So now, just one match stood between Tyloo and the next stage of the major, a rematch against the Aussies, FlyQuest. The same team they'd beaten back at ESL Pro League Season 21, but things started shaky. They dropped map 1 13-10, but then, total domination. Tyloo crushed FlyQuest in the next 2 maps, 13-3 on both of them, locking in their spot in the next stage of the major. They had done it. But let's be honest, for a Chinese team that many expected to make it through, just scraping by isn't exactly headline news. So why am I even telling you this? Because up until now, Jee hadn't been given a microphone. But that was all about to change as he joined the desk for a winner's interview.
Tell us what's going through your head.
What?
Now, after a quick language barrier problem, the interview starts off very standard. Go through basic questions where Jee expresses he doesn't like to play other Asia region teams, albeit in a very smiley and excited way.
Hand?
Head.
Through your head.
Through your head.
What?
Through your head.
My hand?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
thinking?
What are you thinking?
I know. Yeah. FlyQuest is a very strong team. In last month, we win the FlyQuest twice. Actually, I don't like to play with the team again. I don't like.
Even though you keep winning.
Yeah, we keep winning, but FlyQuest is my friends, my brothers. I don't like play with the Asia team.
But then, the descent into madness begins as Freya brings up the fact that Jee's teammate Jamyoung got an ace in the pistol round and asks for a reaction from Jee. Maybe it's the language barrier, or maybe it's just Jee, but he then decides to shoutcast the play.
Yeah, we got the screen.
1, 2, 3, 4! Oh my god! I think Jamyoung is the best player in China.
Yeah.
Showing that despite Jee's limited English vocabulary, swear words can be universal.
Yeah, I
Very well might be, yeah.
Top 1, China top 1. Jamyoung. Look. Boom. Oh, ace, what the fuck?
He then continues to demonstrate this throughout the interview, with fuck being his most used word by a country mile.
Yeah.
We need more time to 怎么说 fuck?
More time to improve.
Then, as if this wasn't already one of the best interviews in Pro CS, not a high bar to beat, he confesses his love for Nico's boyfriend.
Okay, Jee, one more question. Stage 2, you're qualified. We've got FaZe, we've got Falcon.
Yeah, Alex, focus. Monacy is my idol, you know? Monacy is my best love player, best of. Monacy is my idol. I want to play with Monacy.
You want to beat Manassi?
I want to beat Monacy? No.
No. Do you want to beat him?
Beat.
Yeah. Win versus Manassi.
Of course.
Yeah.
My idol, Monacy.
He might want to beat him in more than one way, if you ask me.
Oh, there we go. Some beautiful pictures of Manassi.
Monacy, oh my god.
I'm telling you, Nico, you need to watch out for Mr. Steely Old Girl. He then goes on to be absolutely bewildered when Moses tells him he has fans and embraces in his first of many hugs in this interview.
Nice. Well, you're my idol. I want you to know
Thank
that.
you. You have a lot of fans. You have a lot.
Really?
Of fans.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The second hug comes when Freya mentions his second love, Bing Chilling.
And have some ice
love
cream
this.
to celebrate tonight, Jee. You deserve it.
We're going to bring you ice cream.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to find you ice cream. Yeah, I got you.
One hug for ice cream clearly wasn't enough, so he goes in for a third, which I'm going to count as many due to its high intensity.
Sandwich?
Being chillin'?
Being chilling. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're welcome.
At this point, everyone on the desk has absolutely lost it. And when they try to usher him off the desk, he almost refuses to go, wanting to know who he is playing in his next match.
Thank you, man. Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you tomorrow for some best of ones.
You're all good to head out.
We play with who tomorrow?
Yeah, you're gonna
Oh
play Greg
yeah,
tomorrow.
should we tell you?
He's so desperate to find out, he actually briefly turns into an owl out of pure excitement.
I don't want to disappoint. You play M80.
Simple. Dang.
M80.
M80
Americans.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Amazing.
M80.
M80.
American team.
Who?
Perfect.
Before discovering he is yet to actually make any friends on M80.
Oh,
Yeah.
my friend, Anity. Maybe no friend.
He then goes on to ask who his future boyfriend is playing.
Wanna say play with who?
Monacy Bait.
Ooh.
I'm giving all the spoilers
B8.
out.
I know, you
B8.
are, it's all right.
Yeah, I really am.
Wait.
And Blast Production even start playing music, I assume to encourage the desk to move on the segment, but Jee has other ideas.
Nemiga Han is my brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nemiga play with who? Han. Their opera is my
Do
brother.
everything right now, G. Pain.
Then, finally, Jee leaves, having blew his aura all across the desk and gaining fans across the world. But he wasn't done there. Tai Lu were in the second stage, and it's fair to say expectations for the team here weren't fantastic, with very few predicting them to progress. But of course, they were going to give it their best shot. They had M80 in their opening game, you know, the one that Jee couldn't remember, and Tai Lu managed to take them down somewhat convincingly 13-9. And this was a huge win. Not because M80 are an absolutely great team, or that it's a win in a major, but because after this win, Moses delivered on his promise, and Jee got ice cream.
Friend?
Yeah.
Is it sad? Does it hurt you to win? Oh, gee.
Oi! Brother!
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 Thank you very much. Oh, yep, straight in. Nice.
Unfortunately though, this happiness was short-lived, as following the ice cream, Jee then did a follow-up interview with DUST2US. And while at first they lulled Jee into a false sense of security, asking about his beloved Bing Chilling,
With that win, you got some ice cream. What flavor was the Bing Chilling you got?
What? 香草怎么说？Valence, my best. Vanilla? Vanilla.
Banana?
Vanilla.
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 So,
Vanilla, right?
before finally the interviewer drops a bombshell. We see a momentary lapse in Gee's smiley face, as they're told that their next matchup is FaZe.
he's a real G, I suppose. And now you guys are going to be taking on FaZe Clan next. Your next best of one.
Really?
Yeah.
Very simple?
Following it with a very succinct answer on how he feels about that.
Play against Simple.
You will suck. Fuck.
And to be fair, he was right. After a strong tournament, this is where Tai Lu begin to wind down. They lost 13-5 to FaZe, then they lost to his old team Linvision 13-5, leaving them in an elimination match against Heroic to stay in the tournament. And unfortunately, after a hard-fought map 1 victory, our protagonist's story comes to a close, losing 2 back-to-back maps to be eliminated from the tournament. After all the hype and happy interviews, it was time for Jee to show his emotional side again, giving some heartfelt goodbyes and cementing himself and his personality as one of the most entertaining and passionate in the community.
And gee, I know it's emotional and hard, but you made many fans of people around the world for Counter-Strike. Anything you want to say to all the English-speaking fans that have loved to see what you do, see your personality?
I don't know, say just Counter-Strike is the best game in this world. Yeah, if you love CS, I love you. Yeah.
And Counter-Strike loves G. We all love G here, but it's sad to see him go. They did their best to fight it through. Oh, G. I'm sorry, man.
Now, I'm aware of how long that G section is, so I'm going to try and keep this section short and sweet. It essentially boils down to the fact that EmiliaQAQ is insane. And I don't mean insane at the game, although he is a fantastic player, but clinically insane. He's also 20 years old, and while he's been in Linvision for over 2 years, in which he cosplayed as the anime girl he's named after, in this major he decided to go full crazy mode, truly showing his real personality in front of an audience of millions. So let's go through some of his antics throughout the major, and considering Linvision made it one whole stage further than Tai Lu, there's a fair few of them. We had this incredible jump on death celebration after beating NRG to progress to stage 2. He had this moment after beating Falcons where he chose to kiss Monacy's hand, now creating this weird love square where Nico is the sad cook watching 2 fair maidens woo his woman. This situation where he accidentally hit Spinbot live on desk, the only logical reason I can think of for this is that he has a butt plug activated hack and accidentally clenched. This celebration, which was initially suggested by Blast to be Emilia shooting down pick'ems, it turns out though the actual reason opens a whole nother rabbit hole. I don't have time to go into it, and honestly it doesn't make much sense to me, but if you're interested in the whole post it's linked in the description. It basically opens a window into some of the Chinese memes in the community, and maybe I'll do a whole video on it at some point. Then, just like Jee, another interview really made the rounds, but somehow it's even more insane. You see, the interview was conducted by a Brazilian, so with English not being either of their first languages, it led to some questionable content, like this.
Hello, but I don't know English. I can speak slow.
And this.
Congratulations. I like you a lot. Thank you.
And this.
Thank you. What are you feeling? Good. Nice.
He collected so much ore this tournament, Alexi B even changed his name as a nod to him to EmiliaQAQ, Table Brothers for life. But then, behind his funny facade, you could tell this event was life-changing for Emilia, and we got to see a glimpse of what Counter-Strike does for the people that make it, the huge emotions it can cause, and the opportunity it provides. In a video on Douyin, some Chinese social media, he said, "Mum, on the day I decided to go pro, you cried and begged me not to, but our family had no source of income, and everything all depended on you alone. I didn't want to be a weight on you, I wanted to help you. I wanted to prove that I can support this family and bring you and brother a better life. Dad, I haven't seen you for so long. I miss you." Which shows a peek into just how important the game is to these players. Following this, there was an outpour of support from the community, many who thought his dad had passed. It even prompted the owner of Aurora to donate $5,000 to him, with a promise of $25,000 if he made the playoffs. Remind you of anything? He then later clarified that his dad had not passed but was instead in prison. I don't know why he was in prison, but it seems like a personal matter, so I didn't try to research it. And he did all of this, achieved all of this love and affection, just by being himself, all while, this entire time, he was only face it level 6. So, why did I even make this video? Well, first of all, because Jee and EmiliaQAQ absolutely deserve all the flowers the community has been throwing at them. But more importantly, Counter-Strike needs more of this. Like seriously, how many awkward, monotone, yeah, we just played our game, took it round by round, interviews do we have to sit through to get one that actually makes us feel something? And then along come these two Chinese players who don't even speak English as their first language, and yet somehow they manage to steal the show, not just by clicking heads and outplaying tier 1 opponents, but by actually being entertaining, funny, charming and memorable. They showed personality, they joked, they smiled, they really bought the vibes. Now, I'm not trying to say that every player interview needs to be a big spectacle and Hollywood level acting. Well, come on, if Jee and EmiliaQAQ can entertain us with a language they barely speak, then it seems fair that other pros could do the same. Because right now, if a Jee interview is the Lamborghini of CS interviews, then a Team Spirit interview is an old beat up larder. Counter-Strike, whether we like it or not, is an entertainment product. It's a show and it's a story, and desk hosts constantly trying to get more than one interesting sentence out of someone who just had a great game is getting a bit old. So when players do bring something extra, when they do make us laugh and they care, or we get a clip for Twitter, we definitely need to lean into it more, amplify it and encourage more of it. Because if CS wants to keep growing, not just as a competitive esport, but as a real spectacle, then we need more people like Jee and more people like EmiliaQAQ, and maybe, just maybe, a little less introversion.